How does that look?
Yep. All right. Hello. I'm Possan, Per-Olov Jernberg. You can find me on almost all networks as Possan.
A little bit closer with the mic.
Yep.
Yeah, good.
Right. Okay, so I do a lot of weird hardware things. I do some projects with Håkan as well for helping him realize his often weird ideas. This is another thing I did. It's a whiteboard sequencer. So you use colored post-it notes that actually like affects the music that you make. The candy sequencer again. It's the same principle. It's a camera, it tracks colors. It's fairly simple thing. The cubes, the Rubik's cubes. These are the motion tracked. So they detect the orientation of the cubes and affect the different patterns in the music based on that. Let's see. So a few years, like some years ago, I guess, I found this thing on the internet, like the Monome, which seems like a really basic thing. It has a shitload of buttons, but the nice thing is that it actually the logic for the device is in the computer. It's not in the hardware. So the hardware just sends button pushes back to the server basically, and so that led me down the road of building my own controller, I guess. So this is it. The first thing. It's a nice blue IKEA box with buttons and controllers and knobs and a little display. And it acts the same way. It just sends the button pushes back to the computer. The computer responds with some kind of feedback, which lits the LEDs and edits the text on the display, which is really nice. It's really fun because then you have to think about how you build your sequencer hardware and how you like build the UX of this thing. And also there is no stop button. It just runs the loops forever, which is kind of fun. So the next, this is how it looks inside. It's very colorful, lots of wires, breaks easily. So a couple of years ago, I went to a hackathon in Umeå in Sweden, a music hack, which at the time I had purchased a couple of LED panels, which I brought up there. And the idea was that we could build something that could, I don't know, in some way interact with music. We found a guy there that had liked the idea, and we actually started building something. So we built this thing. It simulates virtual objects inside of the cube. So if you tilt it, the objects will roll over to the other side and make noises. It's built out of duct tape and dangerous voltages of LEDs, I guess. But the judges really liked it, so they convinced us to actually like keep working on it. So the second iteration was a laser cut version of that, which actually held together by itself. Looks kind of nice. We also kept working on it, and eventually it turned into something that requires buttons, because if you don't have buttons, you have no interaction except for the rotation and in the velocity or the orientation of the device. So Adafruit has these kits where you can buy a simple board that has I2C that sends the button pushes and responds back with LEDs lighting up. So we bought a bunch of those, stitched them together into this thing, which is the current state of this project. And it's a music sequencer where we can use all the sides of the cube. It's wireless. It sends OSC messages back and forth to the computer. If you're using any standard music software, you should have support for it. And it's the same thing. It's really fun to actually try to build a UI for something that's really limited, like this. I think that's it. I have it here. It's downstairs if you want to try it. I have the blue box version of it as well. And yeah, if you have any questions or anything, I'm all over the internet as Possan.